I'm going to try, okay?
See what the drivers in the cars here are
Holy
going to want
shit!
to do.
You see how fast the pace car got out of there?
Oh my god.
Oh god! What is going on?
Oh
Like,
my gosh, we've got a big accident here on
I'm gonna
the...
go ahead and... Oh
Yep.
god!
Oh no, we've got drivers upside down.
Is that a survivable thing?
I don't know that it... Well, they have the halo, these cars. Conan coming up on yet another driver he doesn't respect.
Careful, you're gonna psych potato lobster out there.
Which are famously, of course, in two-wheel drive cars.
Left.
Oh no.
Oh no!
Onto gravel.
Oh yeah.
Oh no!
That was my bad.
To the forbidden zone.
We might wind up back on the road.
Wait, we are. Look to your right.
We're good. Yeah, we're good.
Yeah, we're on the gravel.
Wait, what?
But they're back up.
Yeah.
Holy crap, they're
All
still
right.
moving!
How is the car? Is it drivable?
So, Route 35 righty over connect
Oh,
and
holy crap.
5 minus left.
They're gonna go for it.
Right pink don't. And
Oh, it.
So the Legends cars are our rear-wheel drive, which means that as they transfer weight, they are gaining grip, and obviously the TCR cars are front.
And then there's this. Oh, the car's like popping into existence in the back there.
max crest. 50.
Yeah! All right. Now 629.
629.39 with a massive accident.
So complete with a little pure whiskey. For
Yeah.
Moving on. The path for Space Beauties is somewhat more
We
complicated.
should put him on ice.
Space Beauties needs to invent time travel so he can go back to the beginning of the season to do better, preferably all the way back to when the dinosaurs raced go-karts. in
You
order-
just had fun with AI for this one.
Sir,
Oh.
sir.
No.
Well, now you know why they put roll cages in convertibles.
Thank you so much for having us.
This is, hold on, sorry, we gave you the Here.
I'll just return this.
Oh, how did he get the pace on that? Is that Yelmo?
That looks like Yelmo.
Holy shit.
He must have had a hell of an exit on turn 7 there. But offside is not giving it up.
Oh,
Oh no, he doesn't lift.
Offside. Oh, that's pretty. That's real pretty.
Let's go to the.
Oh no.
Oh,
That's good. Bonk.
bring me the dirigible camera.
He actually might
Kyle has something to do with it. He's within spitting distance.
Pretty aggressive.
Oh!
Oh, there's been an
There's your shot, buddy.
Space Ponies keep it together. Oh, but he's not giving it up
There's
like
no way
that.
I can take it.
Wow.
It's a great question. Would you like to see him enter the Brundle? That is what the turn is called.
It's not called the Brundle, it's called Brundle. If you put a the in front of it, it becomes something else entirely.
There's only one of them. Tonight on Tonight We Race. We race. Let's go right to the spectator cam. What are we looking at right here? Also, by the way, we're back.
We're back.
Here we are on Okayama International in lovely Japan in the Toyota GR86 while our cold open race racers get their qualifying laps in. Let's go to the quad. Look at... Oh, go ahead.
I heard the words docile earlier. Is that what this is?
I do believe that I called the GR86 docile in a previous conversation
Slippery
this
cold
evening.
tires.
They have approximately 5 minutes to turn in a quali lap here, and you will note that there are quite a few. Oh, we're getting some network spiking on pod 2 there. Pod 2 we have in perma spectator mode tonight. So we have one driver missing from the roster this evening. I think I know what the problem is, and that's having the multi-view up there means all possible things are being broadcast over the network simultaneously, which means we probably need to pare back what's actually on the multi-view, which we can do a little bit later here. It's an all new broadcast setup this season. We have done some pretty egregious things in NDI to get this together.
I would argue reasonable for a professional broadcast.
Okay, reasonable for a professional broadcast, and absolutely egregious for the amateur hour shit that goes on this show.
That's fair.
Here's Potato Lobster back from his stint in Season 3 as the Pod 1 driver. Also still in Pod 1. It's like he never left. We didn't have to adjust his seats.
I'm gonna ask the words. Is this accurate?
Is the clicker accurate? Is the 38 count of failures from last show accurate? Yes. What the fuck was that for?
If you go back to Pod 1.
What's in Pod 1?
The camera angle.
That's not... Well, he's just tall. I fail to see how I'm responsible for this problem. Good evening, Graham, and good evening, Mojo. Yeah, we didn't... Oh, it's always interesting to see who chooses which stream. Yeah, no, we did not update the weather before we began here. Pod 2 is in perma spectator mode tonight. Pod 3 returning from both Seasons 1 and Season... Yeah, see, that's what I'm afraid of. We're pulling way too much bandwidth with the multi-view over there. We'll have to...
Well, I can do that now.
Yeah, take all of the individual pods out of multi-view. That's going to save us some... we're going to have to refit those with 10 gigs. And you can give that a click if you want. Yeah, Pod 3, Duffy is back, Season 1 and Season 3 veteran, and Mr. Goat, who joined us in Season 2 Season 2 locally and Season 3 remotely, back. And of course...
Oh, there's so much stuff on the road already there.
So many road marbles. Re-performing his co-host duties, my co-show duties, is Shote. And of course, Mara here. We're back for 6 more weeks of ridiculousness, but let's not talk about it. Let's watch it. Is this just a public session or are we hosting? So it's actually both. What you're looking at right now is a public session, but password protected. We let all members of the Discord just run the cold open race with everybody. For the feature races later tonight, you do actually need to be in the league, and there's kind of a process to get into that. But we do take remote and local drivers, so let's have that conversation in the Discord a little bit later. Every time we pull up the quad, we lose frames on one of the pods. I wonder what changed between last night and tonight. It's better. We are pushing the boundaries of what 2.5 gig can do on these machines. We may need to increase. Where can I find the Discord link? If you pop back out to the YouTube channel, it should be listed in all of the socials.
It's like qualifying just finished.
I'm counting 50 seconds remaining in quali, or am I misreading? Oh, no, there's the flag. All right, so everybody should be pulling back in, and then we will actually get them moving in the cold open race. Cold open race is, of course, performed on tracks and in cars that are not in use in the active season. And for tonight, since this is Japan week, that's going to be the GR86.
Pull open the results.
And let me go punch up his, there we go. Am I seeing that offside turned in a 1 flat there on Okayama Shore?
Sure looks like
Followed
it.
by Dr. Gould.
Hey, it's
Then
sunny.
Pod 4,
Look at that.
Mr. Goat. Obviously, the AI filler that we put in here in cold opens.
Hey, Blue
also
Flag,
gets
how's
a
it
say.
going?
I'm right next to Dale
I
Jr.
mean,
again.
This is unprecedented. I don't remember being like humans
beat by
on
Bob.
top of AI on that
Our
list.
humans don't normally sit at the front of that list. They are now gridding.
Does anyone
in
know the
for
best way to
the
launch
race.
these cars?
Let's watch it from the drama
Slowly.
cam, which is
Hopefully
what
with the
I call
clutch.
this position right
Pedal
here.
on the right.
Do I really need to go fix his camera
See a
position?
clutch.
Is that gonna Are you going to be
Yeah, the
cranky
clutch
with me if
works.
I don't fix it? 'Cause-
But
all right, I'll hold-
I already
just-
clicked
yeah.
it, so it's fine. I just wanted to count it.
all right, all right. Start lights are active. It's kind of hard to black flag in these cars, but I don't put anything past our local drivers. Let's see how they do. And they are off.
Yeah, that was quite the launch.
Sounds like we've already got drama out there. Checking in on the spectator
Ooh,
camera.
got
What
really
are we
going.
looking at here? We are looking at more chunk. What happened to our task manager window? Did we kill that because we
I
thought we
did
were
close
past
it.
this? Can I have my task manager back, please? How much bandwidth are we burning here? Many. We're bouncing on the 2 gig line, but that still shouldn't be causing that.
This is a
Well,
really good seat for this battle.
so, Okayama is fun because the short can... Jesus Christ! Potato Lobster with an extremely aggressive... Do you remember in the rules where it says we treat the AIs like humans and do not use them as Gran Turismo or Forza props for driving?
You good?
Sorry, Derek. I didn't see you there, man.
And that's the
No,
reason,
I
is
went
because
for
you
a
never
lunge.
actually know if it's an AI.
No incident points.
Everybody, of course, had time to do their
Oh, and there I
liveries
go.
for this season, but not
Cold
for the
tires.
cold open, and so we're seeing a wide variety.
Oh my
There's a
god.
caution in play
That
already.
AI just
Can't imagine why.
Caution
dug
in
into
this
me
corner.
and
Can't imagine.
And debris and more caution.
Whoa! That's not the direction he's supposed to be going.
oh my god, how many cars are on this track right now?
I just dodged a ton of shit somehow.
All right, time to
Can you punch that
battle
up for me?
back.
Aw. I'm really not a fan of whatever's causing that. We got to go hunting for that one.
I think it's all the pods. I don't really know what's going on.
Potato Lobster with a pirouette and almost turns it into the correct direction there.
Ablative braking. Yeah.
We'd like to point out that no drivers are actually physically harmed in the use of our haptics here.
Yet.
Yeah, no one has yet been harmed. We also have them tuned down from max pretty substantially. Duffy holding 24 position now as a result of that bounce.
Oh my god. Ugh.
I suspect what we're going to need to do since we redid all the spectator stuff
Wow, my
yesterday
tires are
is
toast
go back
already.
and check canvas sizes on
Oh,
everything. I feel
sliding.
like there's some excess downsampling happening somewhere that shouldn't be happening.
Yeah, it feels like it. It doesn't seem like a network problem.
No, and that's why I'm pretty sure it's the multi-view view being up at all. In fact, if you turn off multi-view, I suspect that that's going to drop right now. Can you just for the shits?
I don't know if you can.
You don't know if multi-view can actually be turned off?
Yeah.
Oh, all right. Well, that's a choice. All right, we'll screw with it later.
No, that just gives you yet another one.
No, it's fine. It's fine. We'll figure it out some other time. Moving to Pod 4, Mr. Goat holding what appears to be the second place position in this race, right behind Offside. When we're in the cold opens, we don't get their nicknames through. That's another interesting idiosyncrasy of iRacing. Graham, is that one of our locals or one of our remotes? And I guess it wouldn't really be possible for you to know. Let's see if we can dial that in. Can I get a... Hold on, we've got something for this. Get a mic check pod 1?
Yellow.
Yeah, that's the one. Can I get a mic check pod 2?
There's no one in pod 2.
Can I get a mic check pod 3?
There is someone in pod 3.
Can I get a mic check pod 4?
I'm here.
Let's bring Discord audio down another 5 decibels. That'll do.
But I want to be yelling at everyone.
We'll see if that makes a difference. You look fine. He's healthy. He's fine.
Yeah, nothing happened. Anyway.
Back to the quad, looking for drama. The bar over on the Ethernet track is now tracking in the 10 gigabit range. We are, I hope that that's a rounding error. Okay, there we go. What happened between last night and tonight? This is the beauty of live broadcast television, or internet as it were, as anyone will tell you that does it. Everything that can possibly go wrong goes wrong repeatedly and cyclically.
It's when you have more than one person watching, because then it counts as a tech demo. And tech demos, by definition, always start failing when you have more than 4 eyes on it.
We will be using, through the feature races this season, the incident penalty system. See, I feel like applying the brakes into that turn might have been valuable. We'll be using the incident penalty system from last season, which is we will give our drivers a 20-point grace period on incidents, but after that they will be black flagged for a drive-through pit, and then every five incidents after that they will be flagged again. And that was the compromise we made in the middle of last season, where leaving damage turned on was just kind of too brutal to our more amateur racers. But leaving it turned off gave our more seasoned racers an extraordinary close racing advantage, where they knew contact was going to be consequence-free. And so the incident system that we settled on is a good middle ground. We'll see how long that lasts.
Yeah, I could see us maybe adjusting some of the points depending on how these races go.
Yeah. Well, the thing is that you can't actually... Check in on Mr. Goat here, who's in some real tight racing. The thing is, you can't adjust what iRacing considers an incident or how serious it considers an incident. You can just adjust how many overall points are in the hopper, and so it's a single lever to tune, which isn't fantastic, but we'll get there.
Come on, really?
They do expect you to brake for those. The cold opens, of course, no one has practice on ahead of time, and so we expect this sort of behavior. That was a cleanish pass.
I don't know. I had one of those passes on the way here on I-5.
Tech, can I get a spectator cam on offside? Yeah. Using the new keypad system that was implemented last season. Is that him?
Yep.
Looks like him. Oh, it's pretty on the wheel there.
Back to the wheel.
Yeah, it's still hitching during the scene transitions. We're gonna have to work on that. All right, we'll just stay away from the spectator cam for right now. I think that's what's punching all the problems. Six minutes and 20 seconds remaining in the cold open race. Cold open races, of course, not for any points in the league whatsoever. Just a way to warm the drivers up under non-optimal conditions.
Like this sea of AI.
You have to admit this is more kind.
Oh, God.
No winners, no points. You have to admit this is more kind than the TCR cars on Reigning Scuba, with the Legends cars as the alternative class pick.
I can't tell if there's contact, which is probably a good thing.
I actually let's call out Duffy here for a moment. Duffy, who entered season 1 with no track experience whatsoever, came into season 3 with a brutal set of competitors. actually got the coaching sessions, bought the damn book, bought Getting Faster, put in the homework, and is racing exceptionally clean in Season 4. I absolutely love seeing season-over-season improvement in our people. I'm told Mr. Goat just started good, but pretty sure there's a Season 2 thing where he didn't win, so possibly more than that. Back out to the quad. Oh, yeah, sorry. That's the other big innovation this season. We are, in fact, simultaneously broadcasting in horizontal and vertical with scene transitions to match. So if you are watching one of those, and this isn't the correct form factor for your device, we do suggest that you go find the other one and watch that. We think that most of the detail has been passed through correctly. I've got an I9 down there on encoder duty that's saying good things are happening in that regard.
So many gigahertz right now.
Potato Lobster mowing the lawn a bit. The GR86 is teaching everything you need to know about rear-wheel drive, but not really having any of the grip to put that into practice in that sense.
There was just way too much carnage, and somehow I made it out.
I just cut the corner.
Let's take another
like,
5
fuck this.
decibels off of this.
But I lost like 4 positions.
Also, Duffy is properly yelling. It's that turn. It's that turn every time, and you can tell from the braking telemetry. Nobody,
nobody. The marbles on the ground.
No one is actually taking that turn seriously at all. Like, I have not seen more than a half brake attempt in there. Mr. Goat, part of the same pack here, but a lap ahead. He is now way out of view of offside, so I don't think he's going to get anything out of that this time. Believe that's the 3-minute mark, which means realistically 3 to 4 laps remaining for each of our drivers. Where is offside right now? Has anyone seen him? There he goes. Nope, too chunky. Can't do it. Can't do it. What did we do between last night and tonight?
Unsure.
Fucking AI, man.
He looks fine.
Yeah, some of them are real dicks.
Aha. AIs.
The AI has been coded to have a realistic amateur race driver response to real human stimuli. They've also been named after iRacing
I was
employees,
making such good
so take from
progress,
that
and
what
then
you
one
will.
just like decided to pit me for no reason. We were both going straight, and he turned into me.
Yeah, that sounds about right.
Now this is the smoothness we expect to see out of
I was
Mr.
trying to
Goat.
get back up to 10th.
I just tapped Jennifer Young in the rear.
Minute 30
I'm pretty
remaining.
sure that
We're going to
was the
start
one
seeing
that
white
hit
flags
me.
out here shortly. Potato Lobster with
Or
a
maybe-
nice smooth entry to the
No,
back
it
straight.
wasn't this one.
Duffy wheel to wheel and in the marbles and the grass, but manages to salvage the rear end. He's in the middle of a relatively aggressive fight with an AI pack here. I don't think he's going to see the light of day before the last minute is up here. And that's okay, because after 15 minutes on Okayama Short, that's enough time on Okayama Short. It's scuba for when you're sick of scuba. I suppose we could also just power down power down the NDI instance on pod 2 since we're not technically using it tonight. That would free up one pod's worth of bandwidth until we can figure out what's up with the spectator.
Could be it. I don't know. It feels like a client-side problem.
No, it's entirely over there is my guess. We'll figure it out.
Finishing just behind the leader means I came in second, right?
Blue flag on Potato Lobster's position. He's got, looks like they're going to give him 130 remaining. Duffy's received his last lap notification. And Mr. Goat is across the line, finishing in second in this cold open, which would normally be a wonderful thing, but as we mentioned, no points awarded in the cold open race.
I'm great at cold ovens.
Very cold.
Mr. Goat, you've bought yourself a trip to the green room. Have a frosty beverage.
Yay.
Tech, do you have the appropriate knowledge to get them into the league races at this point? Shote, do you have the appropriate knowledge to get them into league races at this point?
No.
Am I the only person that can get them into league races at this point? Great. And there's Potato Lobster across the line. And Duffy across the line. That's everybody. And we are done with our cold open race. Welcome back to Seattle's secret underground racing laboratory. I'm Maradine. This is Shote. And we are here to bring you the absolute worst in electronic motorsport, color commentary, and beverage sponsorships.
Oh, well, in that case.
I'm not allowed to say the words I said last time we did this, so I'm just going to drink this. Dr. Pepper clone. Let's get into the programming. Dude. Not that one. This one. What you just saw was the Toyota GR86, which is the Gazoo Racing implementation of the 86/BRZ/whatever platform that came out of the joint work between Toyota and Scion and Subaru in the last 10 years. I mean, boy, I guess it's closer to 11 years now. It's been out for a while.
That's a lot of manufacturers.
Yeah. It is extremely similar to the actual stock GR86 that you can go out and purchase at a Toyota dealership, except that it has been race prepped by Gazoo Racing, which involves a roll cage, a change of the transmission, and a couple of other bits and pieces. But it is a very, very close experience to what you could buy just off the street or modify yourself, which is pretty cool. It's an excellent teaching car. And it is available for free in iRacing, which is one of the reasons that it is so popular. And we took them to Okayama International Circuit, which is, of course, Japan's country club circuit. It is a place that you have your technical team take your expensive Ferrari or LFA or whatnot so that you can have a fun track day and burn $30,000 worth of tires in the comfort and facilities that sort of wealth might be able to buy you. It was used in big racing in Japan in prior years, prior decades, but now it is effectively private. So we won't be going back there for the rest of the season. Moving on, let's do the news. We actually only have one news item tonight because, as you may have been able to tell from the technical issues tonight, we've been very, very busy this evening. And that is, I think, the thing that is sucking all the oxygen out of the motorsport world, which is, as always, Formula One. And what sucks the oxygen out of Formula One better than Max Verstappen and the antics that he gets up into? Have you read up on this one?
Yeah, something about crashing.
It turns out that they do not want you intentionally impacting other cars in the middle of a Formula One race.
Hang on.
I was running it.
Wait a minute.
So the circumstances that led to this screenshot are kind of interesting. But the long story short is that Max made a weird move. He was told to give up the position that he gained as a result of it. There was a pit. Max came back out on hards, which was the strategy that was given to him. And because of that, the people behind him were nipping at his heels. They were still on kind of ragged softs, but they definitely had the time on him. Russell got through and got close, and Max decided he was having none of that and made a little love tap. And that brought Max to, was that a 9 super license points, 14 super license points?
Yes.
It brought Max 1 point away.
11 out of 12.
11 out of 12, thank you. 1 point away from getting race banned in Formula One, which I'm told
that's bad.
Is not a good thing in Formula One. He's since had some cleaner moments here, but since this is the first episode of the season, we thought we'd reach back and go tag on that one. Pat makes a comment here. Terrible moment by Verstappen. Like I don't know, man. Like I know that Formula One is the pinnacle of motorsport. Yeah, some people might disagree, but I don't think there's a lot of room for argument there. It's the pinnacle of motorsport. It attracts the top talents. It attracts all the money. Top talent doesn't always go with nice guy. Like
it looks like the race line's off
but
too.
Like can't collide with other drivers, man. That's not. Cool. That's just not how it works.
Yeah, he messed
Moving
up
on.
the settings.
Let's talk about our drivers.
Pit speed limiter is
and we're doing things a little bit different this season. We are allowing people to drop in, drop out, and that's an artifact of two things. One, we're doing longer 6-week seasons, and two, we have a big gap for the holidays in the middle of the season this time around. And so it's just a little bit more difficult to get people all lined up 6 weeks straight. So we're allowing people to drop in, drop out. Pod 1, Potato Lobster, who has chosen not to update our AI generated image for him this season, and that's perfectly all right. Pod 2 is actually our special guest pod for this season. We'll talk more about that not this week. Pod 3, again, Season 1 and Season 3 veteran Duffy here in his downhill mountain biking gear.
Oh, that's new.
Apparently that's how he likes to spend his evenings when he's not getting tattoos and being cool. And then finally, returning from local work in Season 2 and remote work in Season 3, Mr. Goat. Pictured here, in Italy, sitting in an F1 car, which is apparently one of the things that he does for fun. I think that the experience kind of rubbed off on him somehow because he looks very, very happy. Normally, we would tell you about the standings this season, but as there have been no feature races yet, there are no standings, and so we apologize for the dead slide. Let's talk about what we are actually going to do, and we're gonna take a quick pause right here. Because everybody needs to go to the leagues dialogue in iRacing, and they need to select the Suzuka race in the leagues dialogue, and they need to join the Suzuka race and no other race. Because we are now using the leagues interface to actually run these races instead of the hosted interface. And that is a whole new level of sharp edges, and if you do this wrong, you're out of the race entirely. So I'm actually going to spy tech over here and make sure that he found the right one. Perfect. Hit that one more time so it actually gets all the way to the cycle screen. And then join in the top right when it goes green. Awesome. One of the constant questions that I email into iRacing is, when is your race orchestration software for event organizers going to be ready? And the answer is not quite yet. Anyway, let's not complain. Let's talk about what we're doing in Season 4. In Season 4, we are racing the incredible and also a little bit spicy Porsche 911 GT3 Cup of the 992 generation, which is basically a GT3 of the same generation, but with race accoutrement, roll cage, an additional 500 RPM on the tachometer, and that approximately works out to 50 extra horsepower. They are loud. They have no anti-lock. They are very, very grippy, and they're kind of the quintessential. It's a car that's extremely kind to you until the exact second that it's not. Show you were driving in our development sessions. What is your opinion of the 911 Cup?
Well, now that you mentioned that there's no anti-lock brakes, that explains a whole lot, actually. I mean, that explains the, well, if I hit the brakes to hit this corner and start turning, everything's really smooth now, and then I just not turn and not stop. So, yes, unforgiving.
Do the alert flash there. Yeah, so one of the problems with not having anti-lock is that your wheels can lock up differentially, and that is something that the Cup car does an awful lot, especially on like a descending right-hander, is you lose the right wheel before you lose the left wheel, and that can be a problem. Anyway, we are taking our 911 Cup cars for the first race of the season into Suzuka International Racing Course, which has been a staple. You are summoned.
Oh, it is? Okay. Double checking.
Yeah, we were sure, like, maybe we're just playing with the lights.
No. This is literally built lighting automation flashing in the green room so they'd know when to come out. They're like, maybe they're testing it. Cool. Looks like everybody is plugged in there. Fantastic.
I mean, to be fair, we haven't really used it in the last couple of seasons because everybody else just stayed in their seat and got straight to practicing.
Well, and that's how you can tell like kind of the comparative try-hard level of like who happens to be racing on any particular evening. Like the people that are here for fun go into the green room and have a drink and talk to each other between the races. And let's say the Conanites stay in the seat until we kick them out. All right, so we're going to Suzuka. This is a frequent fixture on Tonight We Race. It is one of my absolute personal favorite racing circuits of all time. It is home of a Japanese Grand Prix, and it exists in kind of a west half and an east half. The east half, of course, being Slalom Central, and the west half having one of the best courage check left-hand sweepers in the history of the world, that, of course, being Turn 14. We are told that, in theory, you can take Turn 14 flat in this car with the correct downforce settings and the correct
courage.
courage.
Is this intentional that I don't have a race line?
Yes.
Mine is also turned off.
It is a microaggression at us all.
Did we,
All right.
did we turn off the
need
racing
this kind
line?
of shit in my life. So here we go.
Sounds like maybe
Is that going to be true
the
for the rest of the season?
the
So no
race
racing
might have
line?
been configured that way.
I'm guessing they don't have a
the
racing
line
line
is in
right
our
now.
heads,
Well, that's just
right?
going to have to be how it is
Those
right now.
birds
Let's
aren't real.
move on. Cool. That's where we actually are.
Was that intentional?
No, that was not intentional.
Okay.
You got to remember when you do the fuck up clicker. These are
Oh, it goes the other way.
Yeah, no, you got to put it right.
Yeah, okay,
there you go.
Oh, I love this without it.
Who do I Venmo?
Going to remind everybody that we're on a 20 incident count limit, which means you have to drive cautiously until you understand the track.
Bonk.
We're going to give everybody a little bit of extra practice.
It'll be right. So the courage check followed by the no, you're actually stopping now corner.
Yeah, no, like the right hand immediate chicane is we're gonna see how everyone does here. Let's check in on the can I say this, the Oscar Mayer Wiener car. Is
Not sponsored.
you know what we really should have done is we
that
should
hit
have
me, man.
taken down the matrix view between.
No, well, do that and see if it helps. But yeah, I think you would have to turn off OBS.
Yeah. Oh, that's is that the new Hellman's mayonnaise car? Is that the new Dr. Gould car? Can I have Dr. Gould up on the spectator? We asked everybody to do actual liveries this season. Obviously, some people have gone out to trading paints and pulled those, which we definitely recommend.
Was there a food theme this time?
I basically said in broadcast ops that if there was any tie, you spacebar for me. If there was any tie in championship points this season, the first and only criteria I would use as a tiebreaker is, do you have a food-themed livery? But what I don't see is the Hellman's logo on that car. Do you see a Hellman's logo on that car?
I don't.
I think he tacoed. I think he tacoed out. Unfortunate. Checking in on Potato Lobster, driving a bit more cautiously, and as a result, is staying on the track, which is awesome. Checking in on Duffy, driving a bit more cautiously, and as a result, staying on the track. Checking on... Oh, well... Well, that's going swimmingly. Offside, I don't know who Douche Tux is, but Douche Tux wishes you good luck in your upcoming races. Do we know who that is? Hey, offside, who's Douche Tux? You have a fan in YouTube. I just don't know who it is.
Oh, it's a guy I do Formula One fantasy with.
Ah, cool. All right, now we know.
They have 20 people. We have 20 people to do it.
Now that he's back in Discord
I
and
told
you're
them all,
out
I was
here
like,
and
you
he
guys
can't
can come
hear
join
us,
if you want, and no one's.
Offside is one of our better drivers. Let's be honest, but I don't know if he's gonna take the championship this season. He's got some pretty stiff competition. Dr. Gould, of course, being the victor in
He almost
season
went to
3
teams.
and a stiff competitor in every season prior.
I've been in that dirt.
I like the new iRacing. What's the word I'm looking for? The new hazard flag, the yellow and red
debris.
Yeah, the hot dog stand flag for marbles.
I'm just shocked it's not just constantly on.
Oh yeah. You can advance the session, please. And let's move to our qualifier.
The fact that only 2 people have set a clean lap in practice.
Some people are taking the news better than others.
This is going to be a fun one.
I'm really glad I drove this with the race line last night.
Yeah, it definitely helped.
McDonald's car is amazing.
But I actually kind of like not having it right
That
now.
is a beautiful livery. Whoever developed that livery,
that
is gorgeous.
I've also driven this track so much.
So for qualifying in our feature races, we do a lone qualifier. Uh-oh, that's never a good sign. Everything okay with it, Potato Lobster?
I've been to all of these tracks before, for the most part.
If you're looking for the driving line, I think it's
administratively off.
Yeah, don't adjust your sets.
Yeah,
it should be on for the second race if you want it.
Don't speed in the pit.
I see you
Some
guys on
weird
my map,
dude
but
is
not
watch.
my mirror, so
All
I
right.
get solo.
So I'm pretty sure
you do pit,
you are part of that collective.
speed in
So
the
let's
pits,
not
you
get
can
too far down
reset.
that
It'll
chain
wipe
of
the flag,
introspection there,
even in
amigo.
quali.
Tell
Yeah,
us
but
more
it
about the
takes
blue
away
bucket
a
thing that
lap.
you guys do in Utah. That's pretty cool. I want to hear more about that.
Not once you start, yes. But if you
Back
so
to
if
the
you
lone
don't start the
qualifier.
lap, then it doesn't
Not that one.
take-
yes,
In
that's good to
our
know.
feature races, we allow everybody to qualify
Thanks for all
alone
the
on the
gravel,
track,
guys.
and we give them 10 minutes to turn
go
into
gravel.
full laps.
I've
that
crashed
is
in
the
my
compromise
other leagues on the
between
opening,
individual
and, like, the public racing,
individual
I just reset
driving,
and I still get my
avoiding
2
AIs,
laps.
of which, of course, there aren't
Now, if you
any
do
in
one
the
lap
feature
and then
races,
crash, then you like
and
get
having some zen.
You get an out and then one.
Yep.
Of course, nothing is actually zen when you can hear the announcers up front talking about you.
They really don't clean up the track between between races.
No, we've got that turned off. But also, I mean, I don't think there's any amount of cleanup that is going to remove the marbles from, or like the gravel from those particular sections. Like, that's a dangerous turn, and that's where people go off. So this is this visual artifact is a little bit more like, do you remember when we were doing the technical testing with NDI back in October? Or maybe it was even August?
Maybe.
That's what it reminds me of. So far we have no clean laps up on the board, either from our remote or our local drivers. There's the green flag for Mr. Goat. He's going to turn in his first flyer. Off he goes. Duffy making the chicane. Excellent work on the chicane and moving out for his first flyer. Potato Lobster on the stretch and rolling, rolling, rolling.
Hey, were there a bunch of kids throwing gravel on the track earlier?
That's me.
Yeah, you were the kids throwing track on or gravel on the track out there. The children are you. Both Duffy and Potato Lobster turning in better laps than their prior. Duffy almost losing and catching it in the third turn in that slalom. He's now going to make, fourth turn in that slalom. Let's actually just follow him. One of my least favorite right-handers. Very nice. Into the gravel trap. Boy, we've really made a mess of that, haven't we?
But entirely fine.
Yeah, this is smooth. Everyone's favorite left-hand hairpin. Taking that in second, keeping the revs low. That's great. I'm telling you, this is not the Duffy of Season 1. It's not even the Duffy of Season 3.
Almost 6
I
seconds
punched a little
ahead.
too hard on the chicane out. Now
a
my
not
next
flying
left's going to
lap.
have a terrible start.
This is looking like a clean lap. I think he's actually
it's-
going to. I think he's going to get a real time out of this. Just a little bit of kiss on the outside there before the strips, and now an opportunity to demonstrate bravery under extreme pressure and commentators talking about your world. What will he carry through? Lifts, brakes. He's going to come through to about 105, 106. There's more in there, but it's qualifier, and starting up front is kind of nice, so excellent braking through there. Did not get the magic purple lights. If you see the magic purple lights on the Porsche's console, that is because it has detected a differential braking lock on one of the wheels, and that is basically how you die.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
That's how the car chooses to kill you, which you may or may not be into. And that's going to be 224, putting Duffy on the board as the only driver with a valid qualifier at the moment. Of course, then Blue Flag immediately turns in a 212.
Right.
We were expecting good things out of him. Mr. Goat about a second up on his first flyer, but it was dirty, so it did not count. About to enter the compound into the left-hand hairpin. Big on the brakes. Reels it in. Probably should have braked a little bit heavier a little earlier there. It was a solid 5 meters from the apex, but that's okay. You don't need to be in the apex all the time. There's other parts of the racetrack. You're supposed to use all the racetrack. My least favorite decreasing radius compound left in the history of the universe. Treating it very nicely, not getting quite inside there for a good exit, but he's going to enter at about 80. And let's see how Mr. Goat's courage holds. Buck 40, 45, 50. Backs it out to about 100. I think he knows he had more available there, but he's probably optimizing for turning in the clean lap. Big on the brakes before the chicane. Just enough to reel that in. I don't think it's going to tag him for it. And that is truly the artistry of of racing the Cup car, is figuring out how aggressively you can be on that brake. That's a 213 for Mr. Goat. That ain't a bad thing at all. Checking in on my favorite shellfish.
Let's go, Mr. Goat.
Participant.
It's a live 218. That is going to get him a qualifying
I think
spot.
I can do a Ted. I don't know that I can do a Google.
Can I have the results page on Spectator?
207.
That is a spicy time. 5 seconds up in the quali is an awful lot. We did not get clean laps from Ted offside, or Tom offside, or the Utah crew. So that is going to be interesting.
But would have
How
turned
much
into
did you practice
208
on
or
it?
214?
Guess we're going to find out.
Probably about like 45 to an hour on Suzuka.
Well done, man. Two is
Maybe
the
like
best.
it's
Everybody's
oh
qualified.
Yeah,
all,
but you can
it was all
copy
just like
advance on that. I think everybody's got all the times they're going to
changing
get.
settings. because like I have my brake pedal set up super stiff.
As a little bit of dramatic foreshadowing, we had a new racer
really
join
hard to
us.
get any kind
The
of,
reason that they're not
finesse.
here tonight is because
Yeah,
they're
they kinda
actually on Road
go
America
right
as we
down.
speak. Well, okay, probably not because it's past 10 p.m. there, but in the vicinity of Road Atlanta as we speak, doing it for real.
Like, touch the pedal
And
a lot.
so that's Casey Knight that's going to be joining us shortly. And I checked on Casey's iRacing resume before we started here, and
what's
let's
the
just
launch
say
trick
A
on
rank
these?
across the board, except for oval
Clutch
apparently,
in.
which I totally get. So looking forward to having a potential new
Not like
threat
that.
here.
Damn it.
We are
Spicy
in
already.
deep contact on the opener, but everybody somehow pulls it out. That looks like the golf paint job. Who's running golf paint job?
I
That's
see your
Utah
strategy
crew,
now.
right? Utah crew being impolite on the launch of our first feature race. This is the one for points, folks.
Incident points, right?
Well, probably worthwhile going back over our incident point strategy here, which is that they've got a 20-point buffer before they start taking black flags. And that 20-point can go real quick in wheel-to-wheel racing. And so that's, a aggressive turn-in on the Utah crew there. Takes all of it and is
Mr.
now
Goat, that was
catching up to
brave.
Potato Lobster.
I hope it wasn't mean.
It hurt my feelings. Bye, Kyle.
I heard a
I'll
boop
get your
from
bumper outta
behind
here.
there. Duffy now entering the compound left. Probably a good place to watch this from. Little early. Oh dear. Well,
that's the wrong direction.
it's one of the ways you can gain positions.
I
is
like
wait
that
for
it
other
actually
drivers to
calls
make
out your
mistakes.
real names now.
He's going to enter the straight behind the party. We're going to see Mr. Goat just turn back out onto the straight here, right on Utah Crew's rear side. Wonder how that position changed
this is
again.
so much better.
He's gonna
Now we
get a
don't have
toe
to
straight
memorize
through
who's
here,
in
but it's
which
all
pod.
about who's gonna brake and who's
No
not.
kidding, that's nice.
Oh yeah, I didn't even realize that. That's awesome.
Both drivers deciding that this wasn't the place to compare that particular set of ego. Big, heavy braking out of both Porsches and coming back around. Show you may recall Season 2 in the Super Formula 23, where we discovered that you do not need to, in fact, lift, brake, or do anything of the sort at full speed in Turn 1, carrying the trail braking in the Turn 2. Obviously different in these cars.
Yeah.
Mr. Goat right on the Utah Crew's rear. Tech, can I get a rear shot from Utah Crew? I like gearbox camera personally. That's a good one. Give me gearbox if you've got it. What do we have back there? We have the ooh. So it looks like Mr. Goat is going to take a brief exit there, but
It's fun watching the marbles in the reverse direction.
uh-oh, Dr. Gould catching up. The Hellman's cars. Where is the Hellman's logo? What has he done? Tacoed out on the Hellman's car. Disappointing. Potato Lobster rolling up on a whole bunch of drama, but unfortunately does not brake at the appropriate rate to avoid the drama and is now going to contribute to our increasing geological collection of
DRS.
rocks out on the field. Got to check in on some lap times here. We're looking at a last lap of 2:30 on Potato Lobster. That's not as fast as his qualifier, obviously. Duffy turning in 2:25, also not as fast as his qualifier. Mr. Goat holding a 216, which is, I want to say, exactly as fast as his qualifier. So some consistency there. And Mr. Goat's going to follow Dr. Gould and the Utah crew through the chicane and into the back straight, the front straight, and into the right-hand sweeper, turn 1, and then turn 2 into the slaloms. So, good blimp cam. Is that the new? Is that the new? No, that's the blue flag car. Again, we respected the rights of people to put whatever things they wanted on their cars this season. The Iwana car out there, which in an adjudication session earlier this week, we decided is actually food, and therefore subject to the championship deconfliction rules for ties. Excuse me, that was offside. Sorry. This is why we have someone on the spectator desk. Looks like the best drama is going to be right here for the moment. Unless you want to, can you give me a chopper cam at race leader?
Oh no.
He's moving fast. Is there anyone near him? Can you bring the overlay back up? Yeah, sorry, the Race Lab overlay.
Kinda? Not really? That's several seconds there.
Yeah, is that Dr. Gould behind him, or is that, well, it's actually no one now. That looks like an unfortunate circumstance out there. Looks like Dr. Gould, Utah crew, and Mr. Goat bringing up the rear here. And it's chicane time. A lot of underestimating of the braking on that chicane. I'm not seeing anyone tap the apex on the second half of that.
But at least half a second ahead of previous.
No, they're definitely improving. So, 210's big. If we want to look at the peanut butters currently sitting out there, 210. Duffy doesn't have a clean one yet, but is sitting in 5th position. Potato Lobster also not with a clean one, sitting in 6th position. What happened to Blue Flag, me wonders? Mr. Goat, unfortunately being eaten by the mayonnaise car. Whoa! Ho, ho. Cocking the leg.
Nice.
This is how Porsches go pee. Right behind him coming into the hairpin. Apexing a hair early there, but carries through just enough. Back on the throttle. Doesn't let Dr. Gould get too much on him there. And of course the compound turns and the courage check on the sweep can mean anything for this matchup. Using all the track, not cutting in particularly tight there. It's going to cost him a couple miles an hour coming through here before the braking zone. Speaking of which,
the not braking zone.
Hopefully the not. Hey, K-Fox, how you doing? How is the road? Lovely. We were just talking you up earlier. I actually I took a look at your iRacing licenses, and now we're all a little bit afraid, which is pretty cool. We're looking forward to have you on next week. And Mr. Goat did not pick up those seconds on the mayonnaise car, so let's zoom back out to the quad. Looks like we've got a couple of personal struggles going on out here. First of all, we've got Duffy, who manages to lock up just the front right wheel, and that's so there you go. That's what the purple lights are for. I won't. I promise. I was just looking at licenses and I ratings, which are obviously not the whole story by far. The M2 was an interesting choice for iRacing in season 25, or wherever we are in the iRacing chronology. Nice and tidy through there. Could have been a little bit closer to the apex starting through the S's here, but not going to penalize him for that. Mr. Goat is still in spitting distance of Dr. Gould. However, now has the Utah crew hot on the heels coming through the hairpin here. And he is going to eat it in the same turn. They've traded positions back and forth now. How many times this race?
At least 2.
At least 2. And we are halfway through the 20-minute race that is feature race 1. Checking back in here. This is our first episode of the season and our first race for points. And so this is all of our drivers establishing their position on the board. With that said, we're probably not going to update the actual board until tonight after the show. So we'll put that up as a post.
Does the league do that for you now?
The league does that for us automatically. And something else I should probably point out, we are doing a drop 1 league this season, which means basically everybody...
Where is the actual hood of this thing?
A drop 1 league, which means everybody basically gets 1 free DNF or mulligan, or however you want to put it. That was the fastest lap. He's pushing a 2:10.2, and he is going to have the inside coming out of the front straight here. However, brakes first. That may not be to his disadvantage because they have to bring it tight in to begin the S's, but Utah crew is going to hold that position. Frankly, this is the best racing we've seen all night between these two, and I see no reason not to bump off of here other than to pull up Tech's handy spectate cam, which is watching the fight from the opposite side.
Equally riveting.
Oh, yeah. Gearbox camera. That bumper cost $6,000.
That seems really cheap.
Ask me how I know. I consider the green runoff to be good runoff. That's using all the track.
It's all fun and games until you run out of points.
This is still the Achilles heel, apparently, for a number of people here tonight. Is you just can't carry that much speed through the hairpin. Trail braking these guys is an art, and it's only the first race of the season. I don't expect anyone to have picked it up on the Cup quite yet. Excellent position coming through the compound. Brings it in as tight as he needs to. Gets on the hammer. Very nice. He's going to pick up some time on that. Just a little wiggle on the way out of there. Get into the Discord and all things are possible. I'm not going to check the I rating though, because it sounds like it's going to be another personal embarrassment for all of us. Being amateur hour here, but yes, no, since we've done this season drop in, drop out, anyone can join at any time. We'd love to see him. What I want to see, I want to see this pass. This pass right here is what I want to see. This is what I am.
The pass won't happen if we're watching, though.
So you say we have to go watch something else?
I mean, that's usually how it works. Oh, like this.
Little bit of movement in the sand. Still looking at a 2:22, so the times are improving here. This is, of course, Potato Lobster's first time in the car, and it is definitely a handful on a new track without a racing line, but it looks like he's dialing in that time. He is, however, at an incident count 19, which means he's got to hold it down or he's going to take his first drive-through. From position 7, that's not going to hurt him this time around, but it's a good reminder to keep it clean. Duffy almost losing it on the wheel unloading there, but manages to hold on to it. I don't have an incident count on Duffy at the moment because his incident display is hiding under his camera. Should probably switch those around. Hearing some random exclamation coming from behind me.
Sorry, Goat.
I followed you.
If I'm reading this right, Mr. Goat is in fact in front of the Utah crew by about 3 seconds. So all we had to do was look away.
Exactly. Mm-hmm.
It's just like
I get stage fright.
It's just like the anti-lave. If we don't observe it, it's sure to happen. That puts our drama... Ah, perfect tech. Thank you. Give me an overhead.
Is there a train in this track?
We're not sitting on a ton of drama at the moment. Everybody's kind of out in their own personal battle. Who's in position 6 right now?
I swear I heard like a train
Yes,
horn
it's
go
Duffy.
by.
So Duffy's about to come up the trap. There's traffic. If he can get through the gravel garden
nice.
On the way over.
Don't have enough time to catch you, but I probably could if I did.
Through the compound, decreasing radius left. Gets all the way to the outside, brings it back in, does not
Starting
kiss
off
the
my season
apex, just
strong
carrying a
with
little bit
another
too
bad
much through
start.
there.
I don't know. Is that the opposite apex? You know, the apex on the other side of the.
it's secondary apex. It's an extremely difficult turn, and like the elevation change doesn't even play into it. It's decreasing radius, but it's just far enough separated that you should probably think it about as 2 separate turns, which you're trying to maximize the exit speed from the first. And that's a tough one. And it's right in front of this straight, which means that it can be worth... it's an alternative line through there. How many seconds are they going to give him for that? 1.8. Honestly, that is not a bad penalty for what you just did. You should count your blessings. Let's move on. Back to the quad. Looks like Potato Lobster took his 21, but is back out. Duffy sitting at 10. Don't have Mr. Goat's display up. Zoom back out the tech here. Yeah, it's chunky on the transition. That's all network. I think I know what we can do about this. And again, with a couple minutes left on Feature Race 1 here, all of our drivers are now kind of in their own personal battles to finish strong and make up any time they possibly can. Utah crew kind of has a shot on 3. Can you give me a rear cam on 3? Well, I also like the gyro cam. So that is, judging by the strange animal noises behind me, Mr. Goat is in number 3. And everybody's having their own challenges with braking today. This entire season is going to be about managing the brakes on these 911s. As we said earlier, they are beautiful, docile creatures until they bite, and then you're screwed.
No, I got a 4th. It's 2 seconds.
Definitely spent a non-zero amount of time trying to find the turn-on anti-lock brake button on the wheel.
Doesn't have it. That's not what they do here. But strangely enough, you know, for the people who are veterans of the SF23 League here, it's still the exact opposite experience. Even though there's no anti-lock brakes, you have so much downforce that you might as well just bury the pedal and walk away from the car until it's stopped. Now, obviously, as the downforce lessens up, as you slow down, like you have to progressively back off of the brakes or you're going to lose the car. But here, it's like you can't bite the brakes too hard. You're going to lock up one and only one of the wheels, and then you're kind of done. Closing in on. Let's go watch that. Thank you. So that's going to be Utah Crew and Mr. Goat both closing in on the current number 7 car, which I believe is Potato Lobster. Mr. Goat's going to get there first. Maybe. Maybe he's not.
Oh?
Lost Ted.
Yeah, what happened to Ted?
Oh, no. What happened to Ted?
He dropped Discord and game at the same time.
That sounds
easily
like
disconnected.
internet. Well, that's what we have the drop one format for.
Mm-hmm.
This is a good place to watch what's going on here because it's going to be in his rear view. We are at the final lap of Feature Race 1. Everybody trying to finish strong. Mr. Goat coming up in here to lap traffic. That's Potato Lobster up ahead. I was going to say in the 911. All of them are in the 911. The only difference being which food product they have chosen to represent.
And how many holes it has from the marbles in the ground.
Mr. Goat trying to find a path around in the chicane, or excuse
I'll
me,
be
in the
wide.
S's,
God
and
damn
he
it.
finds it. It was a very kind move for everyone involved. Doesn't manage to lose it on
Just
the
trying
exit.
to think wide thoughts.
Touch him.
Potato Lobster now going to get a tow from him. Oh, there goes Utah Crew. And it's a fight again. And this is the last lap for both of them. And so... Oh, no, there's the 25. The good news is that...
Ooh.
No secondary collision.
Hmm.
But that is going to put Mr. Goat out of the it's going to put him off the podium, as he correctly points out.
8 incidents.
I think what every driver needs to do here is just imagine that this was
Minus
their
safety
imagine that this was their drop week, and everything's fine.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
This one didn't count. Next one, that one counts.
Good race, Tom.
Thanks.
And I believe that means we are going to have no positional
I've been
changes
up
here
with
through
you
the end
fighting.
of the race. I believe that's going to put blue
I was
flag
like,
up
oh my,
front,
I got a
followed
good
by
start.
Dr.
Everyone
Gould,
just-
and then Mr. Goat in third. It might
Yeah,
still
I
be in
got-
third.
I forget
Nope.
who it was. I
Nope,
was
there goes the
asking for
change.
how to start, and I was.
We'll just
that
pull
was
up the
me.
results screen.
Yeah, I got distracted
Okay,
and then
yes.
dumped everything all.
Yes,
at
it
the
is
same
your
time
drop
and
week.
just Lit up the rear tires.
Interestingly enough, if you look at the standings from Season 3,
I rear-ended you.
two of our
immediately. I
podium
had faith
drivers
that you were
had
gonna
2 drop
launch.
weeks. So
Yeah, I got rear-ended too, so.
Oh,
Yeah.
for what it's
And
worth, you
across the
drifted
line.
into my lane.
who is still out for real? Looks like Duffy is finishing up his race here.
Well, this is certainly a better start to the season than I had last season, so I'll take it.
Do we know why he was given the privilege of one more lap? We're all behind you, buddy. This is your chance to shut. Never mind. This is your chance to shine. Show us your courage. One of the best turns in motorsport, speaking frankly.
This one?
Yep.
Hmm.
Is a different turn in every car. It's a magic potion turn. Big on the brakes. Could have attacked it a little bit more aggressively, but does get the apex and the second apex. And that is what you want to see coming through that chicane. Excellent work. And that is going to put Duffy across the line, which means we are done with Feature Race 1. Tech, can I get the standings? And let's get us out of the way here. Oh, no, we're just straight up in the way. Oh, no, it's fine. That is going to be offside, taking the champagne and or milk, followed by Dr. Gould and then the Utah crew. This is the
didn't
first
get
time
passed.
in a
That was
while
my first
that
goal of the
all
season.
of our podium havers are remote racers. Check that
Laps,
out.
I should say. I got passed.
And that means that we are going to do our stuff that happens in between Feature Race 1 and 2, which tonight is going to be the Bring a Trailer Challenge. Do I have my clipboard? I do have my clipboard. Shout, have fun in the green room,
it's gonna
and
be great.
if you don't mind, bring me potato lobster.
Oh, he's right here.
Potato Lobster's still out there driving and striving. Buddy, you're done. Buddy, you're free. We're gonna collect him from his personal cake moment and give him a seat up here. How you doing, man?
Doing all right.
Pull on up. That looks like it was savage.
It was a little rough to have the racing line off without knowledge. That was tough.
We took one clicker for that, and as you know, every time we take a clicker, we get $100 docked off of our pay. So, also, there he goes. Bring it just right up, and intimate with the mic. You've done this before.
Yes.
You know what you're in for.
We're bringing a trailer.
I tried to make these as good as possible for the lead off tonight. Are you ready?
I am. Okay. I love that.
So for those of you who are just joining us for the first time, this is the Bring a Trailer Challenge, where each of our local drivers are challenged to determine which Bring a Trailer auction that finished within basically the last 48 hours went for more money. And if they do, they collect 1 challenge point for the league. And in an innovation for this night, if they fail, we are handing that point to one of our remote drivers who cannot otherwise score these points. And so, Potato Lobster, it's either going to be used or it's going to be Slackwares tonight. It's going to be the Utah Cruise tonight. So let me get out of the way here. Your options tonight are the 2021 Audi RS7 or the 2021 Audi RS6 Avant, which is of course a station wagon.
It better be.
And I'm going to do something even better. One of the other innovations that we made this season is I am going to give you more than one picture of each of the vehicles.
Oh, that's appreciated. Last season it was a little tough sometimes.
So let me also give you the rear shot.
Well,
and let me also give you the under the hood. Would you like to know about these cars? Yeah, don't they look strangely?
Yes. Absolutely. All right, hit me with
All right, so here's what we got. Let me get back out here. So the RS7 has 28,000 miles on it. It's the 2021. It has a 4-liter twin turbocharged V8 and a 48-volt mild hybrid system like a Chrysler or a Jeep. Sorry, Audi. And so, obviously married to Quattro all-wheel drive, 22-inch 5V spoke wheels. It's got a clean Carfax and a Texas title. This is Navarra Blue Metallic. People may recognize the name. Includes a sunroof, speed-activated rear spoiler, window tint film. A rock chip is noted on the hood. We have not taken a shot of that. It's got the sport seats, Cognac Valcona leather, carbon twill inlays, yada, yada, yada. It's an RS7.
It's an RS7.
It is one of the ultimate Autobahn bruisers, and it is gorgeous from the front and the side and the rear. It's got a 200-mile-an-hour speedo. Oh, that's a little bit optimistic. Audi virtual cockpit, which is really kick-ass. At the factory, it was rated for 591 horsepower, 590 foot-pounds of torque, and it's obviously Quattro. It's got a sport exhaust. And let's advance to the engines because that's going to become relevant here. The RS6 Avant is inexplicably also powered by a twin turbocharged 4.0-liter V8 linked with a 48-volt mild hybrid system attached to an 8-speed automatic transaxle with Quattro all-wheel drive. These are effectively, from a powertrain perspective, the exact same car from the exact same model year, and this one has 26,000 miles on it.
That was okay.
Not 27,000.
I was wondering if there was an asterisk there with the mileage, but no, they're the same. All right.
Clean Carfax report, a Massachusetts title, so this one's probably seen snow, which is great because that's the whole point of having one. A black optic passage on the black grille, 22-inch titanium Audi spoke V alloy wheels. It's on Michelin Pilot Sport 4S, great tire, carbon fiber trim, Absex in the kit. Like, does any of this sound familiar?
It does. It's ringing a bell.
These cars are functionally identical inside and out. All 4 wheels, etc. And so, let's just go back through your shots here again, and I'm going to get me out of the way here. So here's your front and your rear and your engine. And the only thing, man, I hope I did a safety slide. I did do a safety slide. The only thing you need to do for me, Potato Lobster, is tell me which one of these 2 cars went for more money.
You know, I've owned a lot of Audis in the past, and I've owned a lot of long roof Audis in the past. I'm going to stay with long roof Mafia and go with the Avant.
Going with the Avant. Do we have anybody remote that wants to have an opinion? We've got another Let's Go Tom out there. It's Streetlight. I guess Tom has friends. What's that like?
Well, wouldn't know.
Let me tell you how you did. It's the Avant. By $6,000. Well, I guess that covers up the money, doesn't it? And like, here's the deal. Identical powertrain, effectively an identical interior room. In fact, the wagon's got like better headroom at the back because it doesn't have the slopey.
Sure does. You can put a dog in the wagon.
You could put a dog in the wagon, and like that is literally all you were paying for. Is one of these cars is a wagon.
That's right.
Which means Audi is extremely hesitant to bring them to the United States for some reason. One challenge point awarded to you, sir.
I need
Congratulations.
the one. Thank you very
and
much.
Please bring me Duffy. It's tough. It's tough, man. Like when in doubt, it's always the wagon. It's always the wagon. Even if the cars aren't the same, it's the wagon. It's kind of like how it's always the Porsche, right? For the record, RS7, one of the most beautiful cars ever made, in my opinion, and I'm glad that body style is still in. Duffy, how was your drive?
Best drive of my life.
You didn't penalty out, did you?
I didn't penalty out, and I did not get lapped.
And
that was goal number 1 for the season, and I did it on the first race.
And no racing line.
No racing. I actually prefer the... Well, I practiced with the racing line a bunch last night, so I knew the line, and I noticed I was like using like the full field of view and actually looking ahead in the corners. Like I think I've won race, and I'm like, I don't need the racing line.
So this was not meant to be a pitch for Amazon, but you were one of the most recent drivers on the show to pick up Getting Faster, which is of course the Skip Barber racing book. Would you say it's made a difference?
Yeah, I mean, I've only read 3 chapters of it, but it showed me why, like the mistakes that I was chronically making, all of a sudden I understood what that was and how to start correcting for it. And then just like a little bit of other theory about how to approach and break down corners. And
Chapter 1, of course, is the iRacing user interface. Chapter 2 is our pod management software. All right, so I got something for you. It's either a supercharged 2014 BRZ, which kind of like, really?
Yeah.
Or,
I mean, what's that make, 250 now?
Get out of the way here. Early STI,
Yeah,
not the earliest.
Not the early,
STI.
but still a Hawkeye.
K Fox, thanks for coming out. We will see you soon. And so yeah, like not the like the traditional white paint, pink wheels, like or gold wheels rather. But like so, here's the story. These are in the wrong order. That's the story. Oh, I know why they're in the wrong order. I changed who did what. Hold on 1 second here. Where's the BRZ? Is there a BRZ in this document? Did we lose the BRZ? I swear to God, the dog ate my homework. We were missing one sheet of paper out of the run deck.
Well, just pull some stats out of wherever.
Well, I actually don't think that there's a whole lot to talk about here. Both of them have clean titles. Both of them have no damage. The supercharger obviously added to the flat 4 on the BRZ. They notably did not dyno the car after they installed this supercharger. So whether it's actually making 240 here now is not really known. But like the weird thing is, you would expect that on the BRZ, like you turbocharge it if you're going to do anything to it at all.
Yeah.
It's kind of like a super poor man Supra before the new BMW Super came out. The STI obviously 300 thereabouts, and pushing that through all 4 wheels.
Yep.
Both of these vehicles meant to solve extremely different problems. Both of them loved by kids and street racers alike. There's no problem with either one of them, and so this is strictly on the performance in the years. Both of them have about 50,000 miles on them.
It's got to be the STI, with it just has the old school. Now that it's 20 years old, the old school clout.
Things have come a long way.
Because now that's the car that everybody my age wanted when we were 20-something and couldn't afford, and now we could buy it, and so there's a market.
Yeah.
I think it's the STI.
My first real like hyper adult job I worked with, the CTO of that company had he had an Impreza. No, he had a Legacy, and then he bought that on a lark in the white and the gold with the pink logo.
Nice.
And that was like the coolest card I had ever seen at the time. And that was like back when like the Lancer Evolution and
I was in a
like
Bug-Eye
rivalry.
a Bug-Eye WRX at that time. Not mine, it was my ex-wife's, but I got to drive it a lot.
I was in a Volkswagen Jetta 1.8 liter Transverse. But it was the Wolfsburg edition, and so it had the tartan cloth, which is pretty amazing. Here's your back shot.
Yeah, that's
probably shouldn't use that terminology. Here is a shot from the rear of this car, and there you can see the thing that's poking out of the engine bay on the BRZ that shouldn't be there. Obviously, Subaru on the STI being very serious about their detailing in the engine bay with the STI. So you got to tell me, which of these two cars went for more money?
It's the STI.
Still think it's the STI.
I think so.
All right. Survey says it is the STI, but by not a whole lot.
I know. I should actually think about buying one of those, maybe.
Like everything I've seen on Bring a Trailer today during show dev was like, that kind of makes me wonder what I'm doing here.
Yeah.
That's a challenge point for you,
Nice.
which is great. Start the season off right, and you can bring me finally Mr. Goat.
Alrighty.
Back out here. Glad there was nothing special about those cars in the notes. That would have been highly embarrassing. Oh, right. Mr. Goat.
Prancing horse.
How was your drive?
Good until I got in my own way. Like that, I get nervous in traffic.
Yeah. I get more nervous when there's traffic behind me. I love being behind traffic.
I think I've lost a position on the last lap of almost every good race I've had.
All right.
So we've got to work on that.
Let's see if we can break you out of that.
Yeah.
I got you something.
Great.
It's.
Oh.
It
Very
is
cool.
a 85 Porsche 911 Carrera, just Carrera.
Okay.
With a 85 turbo body kit. And we'll talk about that in a second.
Twin plug. So naturally aspirated.
Naturally aspirated and bored out at 3.4 liter.
So like 8 jugs of oil in that thing.
And a 21,000 mile 18 Targa 4 GTS.
So I'm going to die immediately driving the old one. Like, we'll just set that as a rule.
I mean, it's not a widowmaker by any stretch of the imagination. Would you like some additional screenshots of these cars? Here is the rear view, and I had a 991 C2, or excuse me, 991.2 C2S, and that is an amazing view on that car. They're just such beautiful cars from the rear.
So good.
And then, of course, the interiors. The Targa interior, of course, actually the stock interior, and the 85, not so much. Let's talk about what's going on here. We'll bring them back out to the safety page. So the not turbo has 37,000 miles shown, but they're very quick to point that out. And also the car's been through extensive revision, so there's not a whole lot of confidence that's the actual mileage on a 1985 911.
Sure.
It has the M491 Turbo Look package, which is where all that bodywork comes from, which is something they added in the 85 year. It's been to Midwest Eurosport in Illinois for its work, and that is the twin plug cylinder heads, overhauling the flat 6, reboring it out to 3.4 liters, and replacing the transaxle with a 915 5-speed, and also replacement synchros. It's got remote adjustable, double adjustable coilovers.
Wow.
Adjustable rear sway bar, aftermarket front spoiler. It's got Recaro fronts, Wevo shifter, welded in roll bars, RS style roof panels, stuff.
Huh.
18-inch forge lines. We talked about the adjustable shocks.
So it's got like a used 996 level of suspension under it. Like,
Yeah,
it's
kind of. Like
expensive.
so they took what was otherwise a pretty unassuming variant of the 911, although from a great body style, and they turned it into something that it's not. It's not a 911 turbo from that generation, which I think is 930 gen. Don't correct me if I'm wrong. It is paired up against with today what I would call the quintessential no one ever got fired for buying a Targa 4 GTS car. It is like assuming you don't want to shell out for the turbo, it is the 911 that does everything. It has the biggest snails because they're all turbos now in this generation, except for the GT3. It's got the biggest snails. It's got, if you want it to be a convertible, it's a convertible. If you don't want to, and if you've ever seen the Targa actuate itself coming up and down, that's amazing. It's faster than the C2S. It's all-wheel drive. You can take it up to Tahoe. Like it'll do, and I haven't run the numbers on this, but my understanding is that the Targa 4s and G2S are something like 3.4 seconds right now. It's just ridiculous. Ridiculous numbers. It does literally everything. It's got, well, so not this generation. Now they're on an 8-speed PDK. This is the 7-speed PDK.
Okay.
It's a well-optioned PDLS. It's got the variable suspension, colored skirts. They put, for some reason, Turbo S center locks on it. Which means that it's actually a giant pain in the ass to change the tires yourself. Everything's adaptive, heated seats, Burmester audio, 450 horses, 405 foot-pounds of torque, and it just had an oil change in June 24. And now, you need to tell me which of these two cars went for more money.
I mean, the Targas are always my favorite 911s. This is personal taste. What went for more money is a hard question. I'm going to go old. I'm going to go with the 85 car.
All right.
Final answer.
Final answer. Let's see how you did. The answer is...
Yeah.
It's
$4,000
the
difference.
85 by $4,000. And frankly, I think that is astounding because the car on the left of this screen is trying incredibly hard to be something that it isn't. And I have no doubt that it's a fantastic driver's car with all, I'm sure that someone put a lot of care in it, but as far as from a value retention standpoint, that's a Project 911.
Sure.
It's a Project 911 dolled up to be a turbo.
I've been in an 80s model with, $30,000 worth of suspension under it, and it was a fantastic car. It handled well. It was really nice.
Whereas,
I would own the Targa.
Yeah, and GT cars aside, it doesn't do what a GT3 does or a GT2 does. Those aside, that 911 does every possible thing you could ever possibly want out of a 911.
Yeah.
And you can take it skiing.
Yeah.
Also, that's a PTS. I didn't mention it because I thought that would be an unfair point because that PTS is now it's paint to sample.
Oh. And
paint to sample is now a 2-tiered thing. It could be $3,000. It could be $12,000.
Okay.
Which is nuts. That's a $3,000 paint to sample.
Do you know the name of that color?
It is...
Oh, it's not off the top of your head? You're a Porsche nerd.
I know Porsche blues, and that is not blue.
Oh, fair.
You got your Gulf blue, and your Mexico blue, and your Voodoo blue.
It's like slate gray. That's my guess.
What happened, Dr. Gould?
It is...
a little too spicy.
Slate gray.
Oh, good.
Ass. How'd you do that?
I guess that was totally a guess.
One challenge point for you and get back to your pod because it's party time.
That's my first Bringer Trailer win.
That's your first one ever?
Yeah, I've lost all the others.
Yeah.
We got this. Whole new season.
Now you got to do is drive fast.
Oh, shoot. You already got me in? Thank you.
All right. Let's get back to the main content here. And that's going to be Feature Race 2. Am I getting my co-shote back? Everything good over here?
It's fine.
All right.
We're just brainstorming.
Are we tearing apart the network again tonight?
Oh, yeah.
Are we sending everybody home for dinner? All right, let's get to it. We are going into Feature Race 2, and that is going to be, surprisingly, the 911 Cup car that you saw in Feature Race 1, and we are taking them to Fuji, the other big professional Formula One track in Japan. And unlike Suzuka, the straight is considerably longer, and there isn't a whole how long can I hold it through turn 1, because turn 1 is actually fairly lethal.
Man, turn 15 is sneaky.
This is actually not my favorite track in Japan at all. Notably, we are using the 10, 11, 12 chicane-like complex and not the moto here.
Normal curve and then just into a 90.
Clean sweep possible. So the drivers are out in practice. Obviously, Mr. Goat was the last one out there, so he is not going to be... yeah, I guess we could keep Pod 2 just in Pod 2 screen. Why not?
Who's in Pod 3?
You can see the absolute disaster of my desktop organization skills on my racing pods here. Let's go take a look at that because that looked dangerous. What are we turning in on our practice laps here? It looks like we're seeing some 222s, some 211s. The other reason I don't like Fuji a whole bunch is because the lap times are so long. I really like the iterable tracks.
But it's so wide here.
It is wide. Plus there's a mountain in the distance. That's worth something.
I guess they chose to pave the rest of this instead of leave it be marbles everywhere.
Checking in on Potato Lobster, who sounds like he's having a much cleaner race so far. This is obviously just the practice session. Holy crap. Car 420 just sent a 145. Did I see that correct?
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
You following the weed mobile? No, that's Potato Lobster. Give me the weed mobile. That's car 420, strangely enough. Just enough time to see the McDonald. Wow. Okay, he's flying.
Who's in the Utah crew seat this race?
This is Brian.
He's moving.
Hey, Brian. I get a little more elbows out with Mike.
Hit Brian, he deserves it.
We're going to give Mr. Goat one more practice lap here since he was sitting in the unfortunate order for bring a trailer, and then we will set them off to quali. Quali, of course, being again 10 over 2. Or, alternately, he could go grab some gravel from the store and bring it out onto the track.
That's what I was saying. I don't actually know if there's gravel over there.
Well, now we know. A better question is, where isn't there gravel? iRacing, of course, also tracking road marbles, which are those fun bits and pieces of rubber that come off the tires under heavy load. If you've ever seen a cooked racing tire after it's out of its duty cycle, it's actually a thing to behold. It's a horror show. Everybody out there being a bit more cautious, like to see that. Looks like it's like offside down to. I don't think that's where the turn is. I learned something new about Mr. Goat every time he goes off track because he reveals a separate new piece of his true name.
I guess that's bad from an InfoSec perspective. Isn't that what you worry about?
No one here on this show works in InfoSec for the 3 hours that this show operates. Let's just leave it at that. We all have better things to do. Duffy out there with a clean one. He's now at 202, but it looks like Dr. Gould also just turned in a 145, and so the big shooters out there are turning in some serious laps. And we are now going to give them a chance to do it for real because Tech is going to advance the session. Best of luck, gentlemen. Now it counts. Is that a safety truck?
It's very safe.
Doesn't look safe.
Hooey. Okay.
Time is going to advance a couple of hours, and they're going to head right back out. I believe we set this one up at sunrise. It just felt appropriate.
Yelling when I night race.
No, we're not doing night race.
Night race.
I mean, they do have
In
headlights.
the rain, night rain.
Get out.
Y'all,
Yeah, you gotta leave.
it's episode 1. You can't be asking for that crap because then it'll happen to you, and where do you go from there?
Into the wall.
Actually, believe it or not, we are doing random weather now in Season 4, and so while I do have some editorial control over what I allow the RNG to produce, I generally don't screw with it anymore. Thank you. Oh, well, that's fine. 0% chance of precipitation. What could possibly go wrong? Although that looks humid as hell. Oh, well, there you go. It's humid as hell. All right. I love a game where you're like, wow, that looks muggy, and it's actually super muggy. Everybody out in the lone qualifier. These are their warm-up laps before their flyer starts, which we will see as the green light. Here we have, what are you doing? Oh, right. Okay, so artifact of iRacing. And this is just so weird. iRacing does so many weird things because of its code base. They are all actually technically out there at the same time. They just do not have collision boxes or renders going on right now. But we see that weird artifact because of the camera positions.
Yes.
That may engage the qualifier scrutiny for Mr. Goat. It doesn't let you get particularly out of sorts before the first straight. But if he gets the green lights, he's good. He's getting the green lights. It's going to be a clean one. Good luck. Duffy out there also for his clean one. Potato Lobster coming around to the... where is he? He is... He's got to make the left first. All right. Potato Lobster's track map is hidden behind his camera feed. So he can see it, but we can't. Nice and smooth. Good cautious lap. You know, we could make Tech Drive in Pod 2 when we don't have a special guest. No? All right. There's a reason we sign up with check boxes. I think that the lack of racing line here is definitely impacting everyone's ability to come up to speed on this quickly. Duffy coming out. And we're going to see our first full qualifying laps coming up on the board. It looks like it's going to be, oh goodness. We've got 145s from both Dr. Gould and Offside. That's going to be fun to watch. We also have a 154 from Potato Lobster, which is quite excellent. It's like Duffy did not pick up a clean lap. Well, hold on, am I saying?
Yeah,
abnormal. Yeah, sorry, no, did not pick up a clean abnormal, so he's going to have one more shot at that, and I believe that Mr. Goat also had an invalid lap, so he's going to get one more shot at that as well. This time taking the apex nice and clean and coming back out with some speed. Utah crew turning in a 147. Now, due to the fact that we're all iRacing friends, I see who's online and when and what they're doing. And I know for a fact that Utah crew has been out there pounding laps. So it's actually really interesting to see the competitiveness come out of people in the preseason.
Well, that one's going to have to stand.
We are looking for Duffy and Mr. Goat to turn in clean laps here. We're going to tune on Mr. Goat, this time getting aggressive on the brake before the right-hander and making the chicane. This is what we want to see.
No, don't slide.
Loses the rear end a little bit, but whips around in the correct direction at least. Unfortunately, I think that's going to kill his chances of getting a clean one, which, however, for our benefit, means that we know where the drama cam is going to be at launch. And that's always fun.
All right, Tom, let's do this.
Duffy with his chance to turn in a clean one.
Indeed. This should be good.
He's looking like he's going to come in at about 215.
Then we can have an actual battle.
No. 156 for Duffy. My goodness. And with Potato Lobster turning in a 154, we're probably going to have 2 legit packs here for this race. And that is what I want to see.
The good news is no one can rear end me off the start this time.
Mr. Goat, I got good news. You now owe no one anything, and you can choose where you are in this pack.
That was always good. Just don't do me one doing it now.
Dr. Gould with a vicious 145-1.
Oh, I can still
but a tenth of a second in front of offside. Did we ever get a 20 on blue flag? Do we know what happened?
I'm ready for it.
Did we ever figure out what happened to blue flag, y'all?
Nope.
Unfortunate.
Power outage, maybe?
Probably.
Yeah, that could be it. Off the map.
We will do a safety check on our 8th racer for the night. Or our 7th racer.
He didn't like wreck right before and rage quit or something, did he?
Doesn't seem like the rage quitting type.
Yeah, he usually sticks around.
Yeah, I was gonna say it's not like Ted.
Waiting for iRacing to cycle.
I think the fact that he dropped off Discord and iRacing at the same time probably definitely says it's
punch it, yeah.
Power or something.
Power network.
Sometimes it waits longer than it should. It's
yeah, totally.
Spilled a really big glass of water.
Oh, again, as the people who do what we do here, my only complaint about iRacing is orchestration.
That's right. I remember that.
Entirely orchestration, all day, every day.
You got it working though.
And we're gonna stick here on the Mr. Goat camera. I like also having a blimp or a chase on these. Let's see how that launches in the fog. Off they go.
There we go.
This time I got a terrible.
Yeah, I didn't put it in gear, so that doesn't help.
Yeah, that.
The Wienermobile with a non-optimal launch. Into turn 1. Radius decreasing, and out they go. Looks like we have Dr. Gould in the mayonnaise car up front, followed by offside in the weed car. That's the safety car. Let's not look at that. Checking in on Drama Cam.
Man, Utah crew.
Mr. Goat advanced from the Drama Cam all the way up to podium in the first lap. So let's see how he holds on to that. Potato Lobster in 4th.
Why is my wheel flashing green a lot?
It should stop right about now.
Great, thanks.
Anytime.
Sparkle hands lets me know I'm doing a good job.
It's just the green flag from race control. They wanted you to know that you should go. Preferably on the track.
I mean, that was technically on the track.
That was technically on the track. I stand corrected. That sun's going down, not up.
I haven't made that turn a single time. Not once. Not this turn either. Oh, man.
Oh, and he gets it on the full wheel lock. Oh, everybody goes with him.
Followed you.
I think the toughest part about this.
The question is who gets out of it first.
Yeah, it's like all just guessing and on feel.
Yeah.
Potato Lobster falling in behind the Oscar Mayer Wiener car. Probably not following that line, though.
Okay, but let me just relish this moment of being in 3rd.
Did he say relish this moment?
Oh, God. It's going to be this all season?
Let's see if I can hold it for 18 minutes.
That's an awful long time to hold it, buddy. You're going to get a bladder infection. What a great car. What a great car. Not a great braking zone, though. Mr. Goat now in 6th and catching up to the pack. What contains... Damn, that was... Okay, there we go. I was going to say, that was a great view. What have you done to me? Thank you.
Ooh.
Oh, Mr. Goat coming from behind, going to take advantage of the situation, picking up 2 positions immediately, and now in the hunt for 3rd. Unless he doesn't carry enough speed through that. Oh, no, he picks it up. Was that your first force interrupt? Perfect. Exactly when I want him. This is Tech's first night on the job as having full control of the studio cam, and it only took the feature race 2 for him to have the punch. I love it. Also, special thanks to Shote for building that, because what a giant pain in the ass.
No.
Still is.
Oh, no.
Automation.
Like, let's be honest, we have exceeded the capabilities of OBS. We,
I mean,
need to think very carefully about where we go from here.
10 gig.
I mean, 10 gig's going to help, but it's not going to solve the majority of the
Yeah, I
problems.
don't think I can make up 10 seconds.
More
9
computers.
seconds.
10 gig would buy us
I can still
headroom to not deal with the problem we have right now, but we know that all of it fits within 2.5, so we should solve that first.
Yes. And in fact, interesting.
It's 1.5. Does it feel smoother this race?
It does.
It's because 2's not broadcasting.
That was my hope. Giving it a static image.
We tested it under full load, but, well, that's our problem, not your problem. Mr. Goat in 4th, losing a little bit of pace on Utah Crew, who is off hunting Dr. Gould and offside. Looking at the times getting turned in here, it looks like we've got offside with a 146, which is going to be the race lead so far, followed by Utah Crew with a 148, Mr. Goat with a 149. So no positions are actually going to change hands here at the existing pace. However, as in feature race 1, these positions have been won and lost over the top of mistakes, which is sometimes just how it goes in tight racing. So, checking in with Duffy. Hot on the heels of Potato Lobster. They're turning in approximately the same time. Both of them veterans to tonight we race, but not veterans to this car.
It's also way too easy to overdrive this car.
It is.
Keeping the pressure up on Potato Lobster, forcing him outside, gets the superior apex there, and if he can get the hammer down in time, oh, that was a brutal defensive move there.
Biggest thing I keep
Fortunately,
fucking
no
up
contact
is
came from it.
shifting too early.
Duffy has effectively been BTFO'd.
You mean coming out of turns?
Just any upshift, because the formula, the SFL. If you let it go a little bit past once the red meets, then your engine misfires and.
Potato Lobster now turning in a 152, which is better than his qualifier as well.
And so when the reds meet, I shift rather than waiting for it to turn blue most of the time.
I like that you can see the interior of the Duffy film up there in the windscreen.
Did not realize they modeled the nicknames we gave to everybody.
So that is probably the biggest reason that we are using the league system this season, is because when you are in a league, you nick people, you number people, and that carries through into the actual racing engine as opposed to just picking up the primitives. And so that's what makes the stuff over there much easier.
This is true.
Don't know why they just don't let you do that all the time, but again, iRacing, as a magical thing that it is, it desperately needs some UX. And they're working on one. They're working on a big UI improvement. That's going to be, well, I'm not actually sure what happened there. It looks like both Utah Crew and Mr. Goat took a little bit of a tumble there.
I didn't think you were going to move. That was a mistake. Should have given you more room.
One of my favorite things about watching close races like this is the different levels of apology. Level 1 apology is, sorry about that. Level 2 apology is, and here's your position back. We call that a level 1 apology. Looks some tight racing between Duffy and Potato Lobster here. Let's check back in on them. Proximity alarms going off. They are close enough that they can see each other, but we can't. Whoa! Duffy's sliding through there. Potato Lobster now hot on the heels of the Oscar Mayer Wiener car.
Car stopped on. Oh, yep, there it is.
That's going to give it to him. They are wheel to wheel in close proximity through these right-handers and holding it down. Oop, there we go.
Damn, that last turn.
Duffy manages to slide ahead, loses it with a differential lockup, and he's toast.
All the way down the straight.
And Tech with the push through there. Very nice. Man, give me this every season, man. This is great. Where's the party now? You don't know because we're all watching the same thing now. That's the problem. Who's in position 6? All right, there we go. That would be Duffy, but is that Utah Crew right in front of him?
That's what the thing says.
Who's in the cockpit at Utah Crew right now? They might know. I don't think we know.
Yeah.
The Utah Crew, of course, being a collective in the state of Utah that shares the same high-end racing pod. They have their own strange rituals and have refused to be on camera. I suspect these two things might be related. Coming into turn 1, hard right. Smooth acceleration. Back out. Not enough to catch up to Utah Crew's pace, though, which is at the moment, well, if we're talking about personal bests here, about 10 seconds faster. 5 and 4 are super tight right now. Let's go check on that.
Whoa.
Thank you. Look at that. Utah Crew passing through on Potato Lobster. From behind, very nice. Thank you. Now that spectator cam is smooth and in real time again, this is much better. Why would you do that?
Why would you say that out loud?
I'm rebooting every electronic device within 300 meters of here. Try and stop me. Potato Lobster not giving up the position without a fight. Can you splash me the telemetry? How much time do we have? It is, of course, out of the field of view of this position. we've put it on ours.
Elapsed time 11 minutes.
All right, so
1 minute, 40 seconds.
so 8 minutes left on the race here. Potato Lobster. I don't want to say lost time because they're now on the straight here. The braking zone in the turn 1, the first opportunity for Potato Lobster to pick up that time. It looks like Utah Crew locked up at least one of the wheels on the way out of there. Doesn't seem like it beat him up too bad, though. Watching this from Potato Lobster's position. We're at about 8 minutes left on the clock, and Potato Lobster sitting at 16x incident count, but also racing cleanly. Looks like he got it out of his system, and he is now keeping pace with Utah Crew.
Last lap of 150, yeah, keeping up.
Basically, everybody has improved by leaps and bounds over the course of the last 2 hours, and that's great because pretty sure next week is Cali week, which means Laguna is on the docket, which means that the Corkscrew is on the docket, and this car in the Corkscrew, man, it's got some characteristics. Oh no, headlights, headlights, headlights! Andy's through. That is going to be Potato Lobster in 4th position, and now chasing Mr. Goat for 3rd. Utah Crew, of course, now back in the fight and going to attempt to pick that back up. Also on the long straight.
Come on, stop it.
The Oscar Mayer Wiener car seems like it's had a minor reverse in direction moment. That's probably going to cause problems for him. Let's go check in on that camera. Duffy, you can't park there.
Yeah, I kind of went back to my old ways. I'm now dangerously close to the 15 incident points.
Good news, you have 20.
Oh shit! All right, well, fuck it.
I'm free.
Duffy out there with nothing left to lose except the trip to the pits.
Be going on Leroy Jenkins on this next lap.
Here we have what's called the roll bar cam, which is... Oh, no, I'm sorry. This is the gyro cam because it's been stabilized. It's weird how they implement some in some cars and others in others. As if I couldn't bolt a GoPro into every single car. Very tidy through that apex.
But Utah too catching up there.
Whose position are we on here? There we go. The two bright dots in the rear view here are Utah Crew catching up to Potato Lobster. He is now going to have to drive under duress.
2 more incident points left.
He's keeping pace with his fastest lap, approximately about 2/10 off. Nice and wide, but that's fine. But oh no! Oh no! Just a bit too early on the Excel. And that's going to give him his 20, so he's got to take a quick cool off in the pits. Fortunately, it's just the drive-through. Just the drive-through. And you don't have to engage the pit limiter until you actually cross the bar, which are those 2 cones. Unfortunate. Does give one a moment to reflect. Maybe do a little light reading. Let's check in on Duffy. That looks like Dr. Gould came through and left his calling card, which is also Hellman's. So Tech, zoom me out here. Where's our tight racing at this point? Everybody off. Everybody off in their own personal battles here. It's like Potato Lobster just had a bit of a spill back there at turn 1, and so with the sun setting over Fuji, we are starting to lock in into our final positions. Let's check in on Mr. Goat. He's now at a session best of 147.3. And he is in a podium position. He's got about 12 seconds up on Utah Crew, which is defendable in the it is defendable in the 4 minutes remaining.
I can put on a clinic and lose in the race in the last lap.
Big brakes, gets the apex, clean exit through turn 1 and into turn 2. That is what we like to see. Using the abilities of the Cup car to their best. And then very left. Gap to Utah Crew now opening up the 12.5. Duffy's still sitting on 15 incidents. It looks like the threat to release his id on the track has not manifested. Cost of that being he's tracking about 7 seconds under his personal best. Mr. Goat going to be entering traffic here shortly. That'd be Dr. Gould, and is he catching up to Potato Lobster? Is this for position or is this a lap? All right. Oh, don't say that. All racing's exciting. Pretty. Potato Lobster, of course, under no obligation to cede his position. Dr. Gould required to make the overtake cleanly, but it looks like that will happen without any drama. Blue flags in the iRacing Code of Conduct, and indeed in many real motorsport, is advisory and recommended, but you are under no obligation to give anything up. Except in multi-class racing. That's different. This is not a multi-class race. Duffy effectively caught up here. That got chunky. That got super chunky. What's going on? Those are some big dents. I'm almost inclined to bounce the floor switch. Not now, obviously. I wonder how many years of networking engineering we have in this room right now.
I decline to answer.
Man, the sun is making it really...
Mr. Goat coming out onto the straight, which is probably going to give him a white flag as he crosses the line here or thereabouts, because we are rolling up into...
There we go.
What? Hold on.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, if you wanted a blindfold, we could have provided you one.
I mean, I guess that's what we get for doing a sunset sunset drive.
I am reminded of the first time I played War Thunder in virtual reality in a plane with a flat glass cockpit. Which might be one of the most painful things I've done to my eyes ever. It's a lot of sun. And you know, the weird thing is, like, it's actually just a white LCD. In terms of absolute brightness, it's not actually particularly bright, but your brain processes it as part of a context, and that context is you're looking at the sun, and so you squint and you look away.
Yeah.
Sorry, Spawn. That was.
Or you reach up for the sun visor.
For the visor, which the turns out the Messerschmitt 410 does not have one. But
I mean, that would be extra
my
weight,
tires
right?
weren't quite up to temp.
you know, we would run. Little known fact about the Secret Underground Racing Laboratory: we are fully equipped for flight simulation.
Another
here.
weird
However,
part about those particular turns where you went.
War Thunder does not support D-Box.
They're off camber.
Yeah, and so even if you're offline,
D-Box purists will say, yes, it does, in adaptive mode.
See ya.
Let's be honest, that's not being supported by D-Box or not supporting D-Box. Dude's looking styling on his last lap here. I'm impressed. And as we come to the close of Feature Race 2, let's zoom out to the quad here. It looks like everybody's on their last lap except for Potato Lobster, who has already brought it in. Tech, let's go ahead and pop out to the results screen, and let's take a look at how everyone landed. That's going to be offside for, is this his second victory of the night, or was Dr. Gould the winner in Feature Race 1? It's 1 and 2 are 1 and 2, followed by Mr. Goat with a podium in third, the Utah Crew, Potato Lobster, and Duffy. The times contracting greatly. Contracting greatly between the practice sessions, the qualifier, and the race. And that is going to end Feature Race 2 for the first episode of Season 4 of Tonight We Race. Welcome back to the Secret Underground Racing Laboratory, and we are going to go back to the slide deck one more time because we are all out of content for tonight. I would like to remind you that Tonight We Race is a community activity. We do development as a community, we race as a community, and ultimately at the end of the day, we put on this show as a community. And if you would like to be part of that community, either as a local driver or a remote driver, the Discord is the first place you participate in that. And that is, of course, the QR code for the Discord in the link, and then obviously in the social section of YouTube. So let's go punch the end show button. This is the first time we've been running the automation this season. Hey, the soundtrack's playing. It's almost like we planned all this. Thank you, everyone, for coming out tonight. We are racing six episodes this season. We will see you next week at 7 p.m. Pacific time for episode 2 of Tonight We Race, where I believe we are going to California for the entirety of the episode.
Yes. It'll be great.
It'll benefit some of our people and not some of the others. Everyone have a great night. We'll see you next week. And we're out, folks. Thank you. Networking stuff aside, I thought that was a pretty good show.
See ya.
Yeah, no, we are at 44. So in terms of success versus last season, this is like a 5 times better starting at